What's up, everybody? This is Allnatural bringing you another Star Wars Force Arena video. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm actually not going to play any games. I'm kind of just going to talk about this Tarkin deck and why I choose the cards I do, and maybe some alternatives to this deck, and what makes it good, what are its weaknesses, etc. So let's start out with Tarkin himself. This is the hero. He's got alright stats for a ranged hero. His attack range is really short, which means he has to get closer to the enemy than most other ranged units. So sometimes that can lead to you wanting to attack something, getting super close to it, and then getting punished for being out of position. So it's important when you're playing Tarkin to be really careful when you're engaging with your hero, because you have to get really close, and he's fragile, and you don't want to die. He's got a great unique, TK7193. I use him in my deck. His special ability is really great. It gives you 50% chance to regain 1 energy when you use a support card. This is the main feature of Tarkin, and it's why you will see a lot of Tarkins running 3 or more support cards in their deck to take advantage of this passive right here, and also to be able to cycle to all their other cards really quickly, like I'll be talking about in a little bit. And then lastly, his skill, Orbital Strike, calls down a big AoE. That's a little bit delayed. Great ability, really long range, allows you to sit in the back and contribute to a fight without committing your hero to it. This is my deck. I use 3 support cards: Energy Net, TIE Fighter, and Dioxis Grenade. All 3 of these support cards are relatively low energy cost, and that is on purpose because with the discount you get for support cards with Tarkin, it's really using low cost energy using low cost support cards allows you to cycle to all your other cards quicker, while gaining an energy advantage because you're able to destroy your enemy's units with your support cards. So then the rest of my deck are basically troops that are fast movement speed, troops that can move to my side of the map, to their side, and engage their tower quickly, so that the enemy has less time to react and counter my movements. And then also, like I said, troops that are just good at fighting, like troops that I can place down on my side of the map that will kill my enemy's units effectively and then move to the other side. So, also I have a win condition, light vehicle. This is probably the most ubiquitous win condition on Empire side right now. A lot of people use the light vehicle because it's really fast. You can place it on the bridge, and then within a second or two, it's already across the bridge and attacking your enemy's tower. So it's really good at that. But its downside is it doesn't automatically target the tower. It can be distracted by swarm units and taken out. So you want to kind of use it aggressively. You want to use it at the bridge in an empty lane where it's going to roll across and target the tower. Or defensively when you know it's going to target a big meaty unit that's coming at you, so it can kill that unit, and then after the battle is done, roll across the tower and take out the bridge. Other great win conditions for Empire are ATST, also a very popular card. Only targets buildings and is really big and tanky. I've kind of gotten away from ATST though, just because it seems like it's just such a huge target, and when you use 7 energy on one card, if your enemy is prepared for it, it's really easy to take it out without it doing a whole lot outside of getting killed. Rocket Trooper is another win condition that I've used recently. Great low-cost card, and great because it doesn't have to directly engage the tower in order to take it down. But also very fragile and easy to take out. It can be killed for an even trade with a TIE Fighter, or not TIE Fighter, an X-Wing by the enemy. So I like Light Vehicle because it's good on defense, it's really great on offense, it's tanky, so it can take a hit without being totally useless in a pinch. Really great card overall. Bladesman, I mean, this is in every Empire deck, not much I need to say. These guys do insane damage. Drop them right on top of whatever you're trying to kill, and they will make short work of it. I really like TK7193. He's a great card, and I think the main reason I like him is because he's got the low energy cost and the high health. 715 health is a lot, and he survives a lot of things that would kill most normal low-cost troops, like Ion Mine and X-Wing, and he's also good against melee units because if something gets close to him, he whacks them with his rifle and stuns them, and the stun actually does a good amount of damage in and of itself. So TK is a really great versatile unit, and I have him in my deck over cards like Sand Trooper, which I've used quite a bit over the years. But yeah. Sand Trooper is also a much slower card, like 1.7 movement speed compared to 2.2. So that allows me to use this card and then have him, if he survives, become aggressive and move to the other side of the map and take out towers with my other units. So that's another benefit of having him. Let's see. So Tarkin's passive that gives him 50% chance to regain 1 energy is much better for some support cards than others. Because it is a larger percentage discount for low-cost support cards. Like Energy Net, for instance, you have a 50% chance for Energy Net to cost 0 energy, which is ridiculous. Whereas, say, TIE Fighter, so with Energy Net, you're looking at about a 50% discount on the total cost based on his passive, which is huge. Whereas TIE Fighter, that costs 3 energy. So you're looking at an average cost of 2.5 energy for using TIE Fighter on Tarkin compared to 3 energy. So you're really only looking at, I don't know, whatever that is, like a 20% discount or something on the TIE Fighter. Whereas you're looking at a 50% discount on the Energy Net. So the more low-cost support cards you use in your deck, the better. Dioxis is another favorite of mine because a lot of Rebel players these days like to use swarmy cards like Tal's Marauders, Rebel Troopers, Twi'leks, stuff like that, to counter whatever I'm doing to push to their side of the map. So if they drop, a bunch of units to counter, to swarm me, to like swarm on my tank or swarm whatever's going on, and I drop a Dioxis grenade on top of that, this essentially costs 1.5 energy for me to drop and can kill a lot more energy than that worth of troops when used correctly. So that's my reasoning behind the deck in that way. As a general strategy with Tarkin, it's a good idea, and really with every hero, it's a good idea to not to play aggressively unless you think you have some sort of advantage over your opponent. So usually it's not a good idea to, right at the start of the game, drop a bunch of troops at the bridge and try and get them over there to attack your enemy tower. Because if your enemy is paying attention and is able to counter that without taking tower damage, they're going to be able to make a good trade and kill your units while still having some of theirs left over. And at that point, you're at a disadvantage. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is go spectate a recent Tarkin game that I played. This was actually before the most recent reset, so he was another player that's relatively highly ranked. Seraphin ACC, shout out to this guy, by the way. He played a good game. But I'm going to spectate this game here and kind of walk you through how I play the deck and why I do make the moves I do to try and gain an advantage. So first things first, it's a good idea to run out and get up ahead of your towers in the middle. This makes it so that if he drops a tank, you'll be in a good position to make sure the tank doesn't aggro on your tower by either dropping troops or using your hero to gain the aggro. And also it gives you a good place to see the map. So as you can see, I'm dropping troops in the back here. and he's not dropping anything. So that means I'm actually at an advantage right now because I dropped my troops earlier. So I tried to do a little split push here, got shut down on top. But I was able to clean up most of his stuff with my AoEs. And then I cleaned up the Wookiee with the Bladesman, even trade there. So I think overall, that was a good trade for me. And also, I got a little damage on the tower and should be able to use the Dioxis here, yep, to take out the repair droid. So he doesn't have his repair anymore, and I have energy that I'm banking up, and getting ready to either counter a move that he makes or start dropping units in the back. So he didn't make any moves when I was max, so I dropped the stormtroopers back there. And then I think I drop an energy net on him to waste energy, drop my TK, and now I have a little push going and he doesn't have anything. So he tries to defend, and then, whoop, got the split push coming in down here. You see, it's good to try and take your opponent's attention away from where the action's really happening on the map. And then, of course, I'm able to clean up all of the units that he dropped to defend easily with my support cards for a positive trade. And then again, he tries to drop the repair. I don't let it happen. And now I know I've got a pretty big advantage because I just wiped so many of his units with my TIE Fighter that I'm just going to try and brute force it down and take down this this low tower right here. So start dropping units in the back, getting ready for a big push. I don't get the lock on, but it doesn't end up mattering because I'm able to clear all of his defensive units so easily with my support cards that all I have to do is clean everything up and then go in and take out the tower. So basically in this game I built an advantage through making a series of positive trades, and then at the end of the game used it to overwhelm him and take his tower. He's going to try and do a last-ditch effort here, but it's not going to work for him. So anyways, that's my first replay analysis of a Tarkin game that I played. And just, that's generally how Tarkin games kind of tend to go. You know, use your support cards to wipe out all of his cards, and then try and use that advantage to take a tower, and then he defends your attack. So a little bit of a back and forth there to kind of illustrate how the deck works. So I hope you guys really liked the video. This is my first time doing a video like this. I'll try and do more in the future. Go ahead and give me some feedback about the video if you have any. I'm not afraid of a little criticism either. If you think there's something that I could do better, just try and be friendly. Anyways, hope you guys have a good night, and may the Force be with you.